makes me feel like a man.
You want every team to lose any other game?
Sorry. Bailey Zappi just did another dime.
You know what? Whoa, time out.
Are you kidding?
That's what I'm
I'm gonna try to drop a mic. Welcome to the Warner Brothers podcast.
All-Star
Oh, sorry, how you
Weekend
go?
edition of the Warner Brothers podcast.
Yes.
Yeah, we all discombobulated right now. Welcome to the Warner Brothers podcast, All-Star Weekend edition. I'm Kyle, joined by my brother Keenan, joined by my boy Branndon, joined by our boy Duke. What up, fellas? Glad to have y'all back.
Absolutely.
Yeah, always. The NBA gods finally allowed it. Third time's the charm.
Let's hope.
Fourth time.
Hey, don't speak too soon. Don't speak too soon. They're trying their hardest right now. To disrupt.
Shout
But
out
how's
to
everyone
Wemby.
doing? So I haven't seen anything that went on tonight. So like, how was the celebrity game? How was the rookie challenge? How
I
goes
think
all that?
my
Entertaining?
personal opinion, yes, they were. So we got
All right.
Michael Parsons at 37 and 16 tonight. He balled
I
out.
did see he got MVP.
He won MVP with 37 and 16.
37 and
Team
16.
Shannon had 100. Team Stephen A. Smith had 91. I like the things that they add in the celebrity game. They got the 4-point line, and then they have like this 2-minute stretch. They have this 2-minute stretch where basically it's like, I can't even think of what they call
Crunch
it.
button.
Yeah, it's a crunch time. It's a crunch time button. So like every point's doubled. So if you shoot from behind the 4-point line and make it,
You gone.
if you shoot behind the 4-point line and make it, then it's an 8-point line. So that is dope. And then you've got also like they had the spots with the stars on it. So basically like that was like 6 points.
Yeah, the 6
I think
point.
it's very cool. Obviously my goal in this in life is to become one of the main sports debaters in the world. So I'm going to college for. I was talking with Danny today. I was like, one of my tertiary goals is to be in the Celebrity All-Star Game. I absolutely am. Like, if I get to that level where I'm on ESPN daily, I'm going to be in the Celebrity All-Star Game. I will badger them until I'm in it. Like, I don't care if I'm 40, by 50, I'm 70. I'm going to badger them until I'm in this game. And I'm going to show out, and then I can be a staple.
I
So I'm
feel
going
you.
to show.
I always wanted to have the J. Cole moment. Just that alley. Like, I'm like, yeah, throw that up. Like, I'm trying to get there within the next couple of years myself, bro.
Well, listen, if I get to that moment, crazy. But no, I'm telling you what, if I'm going to. Like, that's going to happen. But Branndon, did you watch any of the celebrity game at all?
I watched bits and pieces of it. I saw a couple of the plays that Puka Nacua made. He had a couple of dunks, had a couple of threes. I saw a lot of like Micah Parsons highlights.
How could you not?
It was pretty good. I kind of went back and forth, watched it here and there, but it was pretty good. I wouldn't be surprised if that's probably my favorite event all weekend long.
That's really
It was
sad.
nice.
Oh,
It was
they
nice.
do.
They had cool celebrities in there. It was funny because they had Kai Cenat in there and he did absolute trash. But he probably brought a good 35% of that crowd to make them watch the game. Just from where his humans at, for real. So it was a nice little highlight. The coaching was funny. Like you said, the crunch time button was cool. I actually was worried a little bit. I thought the LED floor would be like all right, but it was actually really dope. I want to see what they do on weekend for it.
Yes.
Like, okay, this is actually really dope idea. Like, and the different ways of showing the lights, even them running out and they have the fake little red carpet. Like, I'm like, oh yeah, this is pressure.
No, that like everything, the Celebrity All-Star Game, when you have your intros, I love the intros, of course, and then you've got the game, like the intensity of the Celebrity All-Star Game and the rookie game, which we're going to get into in more depth here in a moment, is the intensity I need in the All-Star Game. That is it. I'm not asking for. I don't need this to be Warriors Cavs Game 7 in 2016. Like, I'm not asking for that. All I'm asking for was like in the rookie sophomore game, or like whatever they call it, like this Rising Stars is what they call it now. Sorry, in the Rising Stars, they're playing defense. The G League team was playing hard. Like, they wanted to prove a point, like, hey, we can play on this level. Like, I don't care if that's Chet. I don't care if that's Wemby. We can upset them. We can play this. We can play them. So, like, and then these celebrities, obviously, like, they talk. Like, Micah was trying. CJ was trying. That smaller white guy that I can't think. Yeah, that smaller white guy was trying. The only thing I wish they didn't do was put WNBA players in them. Like, they're actual. They can still play. Like they can actually play. So like, let's just.
Oh, you talking about what's his name? Jazz.
There was like Jewel Lloyd. Yeah, it was like Jewel Lloyd was there too. I was like, she doesn't care about this game. Like, why is she there? Like, I remember Asia Wilson a couple years back played it, and it's like, why is Asia Wilson doing this? Like, I was just saying, she should be doing exactly what she did this year. Coach on the sideline. 2-time champion, 2-time MVP. It's a defensive player of the year. You let her off the side. She'd go for 40 and 20 on these people if she wanted to. I don't care if it's Micah Parsons or not. Like, I mean, obviously Micah is physical, but like at the same time, you can't just put your body into people every play. Like, she can.
Micah Parsons was playing like a big body ass.
No, he was. Stephen A. was like, offensive foul? Are you kidding me? He's an offensive foul waiting to happen. Like, it's really.
He threw CJ, I think, in the crowd twice.
265 pounds and just throwing your body.
And then catching dunks. Didn't want to be out here two-handing, hanging on the rim.
Richard Jefferson said it best. He's just one muscle. He's not even like he's just one entire muscle of a person. And he said that I died. I was like, oh, you know what? You're not wrong. That's just one human being. It's like one whole muscle of just guy. So okay. All right, Micah.
That's funny.
But Kyle.
That's kind of crazy. What's up?
I was gonna say, so Kyle, it was both good. The energy of the game was good. The energy of the event so far has been good. The Rising Stars Challenge has had energy and effort, and I'm really hopeful that the Sunday group can look at that and be like, hey, do that. We'll be good. I'll be happy. They just need to do that. Whatever that is, just do that.
I wish they just went back to a rookie sophomore though, like how they're going back to coast to coast, because I feel like one of the games better, but I understand incorporating the G League players, especially the ex NBA players who looking to get back in the league. Like, I think it's cool. Mac McClung was out there. And Bonnie Bates was tearing him up. He was actually looking like he could be in the league. Like, so.
Future Heat legend Alondas Williams.
Yes. Kyle, what were you saying?
I was just saying, I believe I checked out the rookie sophomore game, or what is it, Rising Stars? Rising Stars Challenge.
Rising Stars, yeah.
Checked it out last year, and I thought the energy was good for the most part, because I believe that one had like Jose Alvarado and players like that in it who were bringing the competition, and Sunday did not match it. So I am pessimistic to say the least about Sunday. Kind of pessimistic about tomorrow, but at least we have the double 3-point contest. I'm very much looking forward to that. Not looking forward to the dunk contest tomorrow. I'm disappointed that we got 2 G League players in it. If you got 4 spots and you can't even fill 4 spots, or at least 3 spots with NBA players, I think that's a huge problem. I truly think tomorrow should be the last dunk contest for at least a few years. So overall, I'm pessimistic. I know it sounds like it got off to a good start this weekend. But that sounds much like last year. I think the celebrity game was pretty good last year. I believe the Rising Stars Challenge was pretty good last year. And then, Saturday was decent, but I mean, I saw the clip of Mac McClung with the 540 the other day. Forgot that happened. And, I forgot that a 540 happened. That tells you how the rest of the contest went. So that's kind of my
Mac McClung was in his own, like, it was everybody else in the dunk contest. There's a couple dunks that were solid. And then there's Mac McClung. Like, he actually put on a show. So, like, I'm happy with, like, for a one-person show, it wasn't Vince Carter in 2000. It wasn't anything like that, of course. But for a show, he did put on a show. So, kudos to that. I do have a question for you guys. I'm gonna give you a couple dunk contests, and I want you to tell me which one you think is a better performance. I'm just intrigued. So I don't know how well you guys remember all these dunk contests, but I'm just gonna do like some of the big ones. So we got Aaron Gordon in 2020 when he faced Derrick Jones Jr. and lost in the end, or Aaron Gordon in 2016 when he lost to Zach LaVine. Which one do you guys like better?
2016.
2016
is the best one all time.
So yeah, 2016 I think is the best back and forth of all time. I definitely do think though that his 2021 is going to keep going down as a little underrated because he didn't win it. If you go back and watch that in 2020, I think his 2016 is better, by the way. Like, I agree with you both. But his 2021, there are some highlights. There are some true highlights. Like, off the side of the glass, the grab around. You gotta be kidding me, man. Like, these are
new dunks back after 16. He brought new dunks back after 16. It's like, yo, you still doing different stuff? And you getting robbed because one dude want to keep going between the legs. Like, yo, you got to knock points for some stuff all the time. Like, you can't just keep in here going between the legs. Like, okay,
I agree.
So you can do that. Do something else.
He got robbed in 16 too. Like, you can't. No, he got robbed, and here's why he got robbed in 16. I'm fine that after when they got into the overtime, that Zach LaVine won in the overtime. I think that his behind the head go down, like he was like, oh, I'm going to tomahawk. He's like, no, I'm going to reverse it. And then I think that was a little underrated because he did full this, and then didn't get the points for it. But the reason why I say he got robbed, spinning mascot, grabs it, does that dunk. One of the greatest dunks you'll ever see. And then Aaron Gordon, and then Zach LaVine does that same dunk off a lob. I can't see Aaron Gordon do a better version of that dunk and him get a 50, and then Zach LaVine get a 52. To me, that was a 48 dunk, and then his sitting over mascot would have been the cap. So that's why I think he got robbed a little bit. But go on.
The thing with that is, with the extreme difficulty of that dunk, people like that one better because it's a prop. It's already up in the air and he grabbed it. I think it's doper that he grabbed it and brought it back down. Now, Zach doing it off one bounce, one jumps farther and he reached farther down. But I really agree with the same thing. I don't like seeing the same dunks either. So, but that's my between the leg dunk, you getting 50-50. Like, I feel what you. But Zach had the best dunks of the night. Well, I'll give him that as the best dunk. I'll give Aaron Gordon that as the most entertaining dunk, but the best dunk is the free throw line between the legs. Ain't nobody seen that like that. That was crazy.
Listen. I mean, and people are like, it was a step in. I don't really care for step in. 2 steps in. He took off from at minimum 13 and a half feet and did a between the legs dunk smooth.
Smooth. Like, it wasn't like rim rattled. It was straight.
That's a 50. It's a 50, a 50. Like, I don't care. Like,
throw in another 50.
It was a 50. I don't care. He did a between the legs from at least 13 and a half feet out. Please tell me someone else who does that.
Smooth like butter.
It was as smooth as can be.
That was after a windmill, which you ain't never think nobody was doing that.
He just went from going to windmill to between the legs. It was like, I'm just gonna keep going up, I guess. Like, I guess I can do it. All first take.
Yeah, that's the most important part too.
Yeah, all first take, which is why. So that was great. Do you guys remember a lot of old dunk contests? Like, do you remember Jason Richardson 2003 offhand?
I remember
that was Jason Richardson 2003. I've seen the highlights for that. Obviously, all the old Vince Carter ones, the Dwight Howard dunk contest, Blake Griffin over the Kia.
So I'm gonna compare. And Zach LaVine obviously had his 15, which was amazing. His 16 was obviously amazing too. Do you guys think those are better than Vince Carter's dunk contest in 2000?
His dunks per se, or are you talking about the contest in general?
I think the contest in general was better.
It's just like contest in general, nothing to me beats 16, but what it meant for everything with dunking, Vince Carter's is taking the cake for everybody.
Yeah, so it's hard because when you're going the best back and forth ever, it's 16. I know Neek and Mike in '88 was really good, like cool, Like that was really good. Derek Jones and Aaron Gordon in 2020 was really good too. Desmond Mason, Jason Richardson
That was really
2003,
good.
that was good as well. Like there's been obviously some good back and forths, but 16 with what Aaron Gordon was doing and what Zach LaVine was doing on another level.
Yeah.
But then, I understand like if you want to kind of argue like Aaron Gordon literally sat in a chair 8 feet in the air. You're like I can't like I get it. But then Vince Carter, because it was 97, I believe Kobe won that year, or Brent Berry, I think it was one of the two. And then they had a couple years off because of the lockout and whatever. And then Vince Carter came back in 2000, and that was. And here is Vince Carter. And like, I've seen that so many times. No, he literally. Like, yeah, look, Kenny Smith just let's go home. It was literally 35 seconds into it. Let's go home, ladies and gentlemen. Let's go home.
It is over.
Shaq was talking about it afterwards. He was like, "I was so excited, I jammed the camera into my eye socket. Like I just
he didn't even catch it on film. I think he said because he was so excited, like he just jumped out of his seat, like he
And I've still to this day never seen a better 360 windmill reverse because it was a full windmill. Like everyone, when they do it, they kind of half do it because they're worried about getting 360. Vince was like, "I'm going to do a windmill where I touch the ceiling, scrape the ground, plus do a full 360 and flush it home." Okay.
Did you guys ever hear him talk about it?
He was like, "Yeah, I didn't."
I didn't know what I was gonna do. I just kind of walked. Best dunk of all time.
It's hilarious too because he was talking. I think it was Marv Albert was talking, or I think it was Marv Albert was before. He was like, Vince Carter says he has 4 dunks that we've never seen before, and then he just said that was like, yeah, I never practiced that. And then like the bounce between the legs, he was like, yeah, I've done that one other time in my life. You're just throwing it out there like I'm gonna just try
it the whole time.
You're just like, I'm gonna try it. I'm Vince.
Think sanity, man. Nothing like
Unreal Hops. Hops.
Yes.
So, I mean, I can kind of pick up what you guys were talking about, which is better, that 2000 performance or the 2016. 2000 is definitely the best individual performance. I don't think he missed once, right? Like he didn't have any fumble at all. And then that 2016 back and forth was just perfect. Like they weren't fumbling. They were up in the stakes each time. Like you said, Keenan, Aaron Gordon did the under both legs, like over a mascot. Like, come on, bro. Like that. He got robbed, in my opinion, that year. He got a little push off. He might have got a little push off, but I mean, shit. That was the most ridiculous back and forth we've seen, and then we haven't recovered since then. Like you said, Derek Jones Jr., Aaron Gordon. That was a good one. I remember us actually having a debate about that, like one of our first Warner Brothers podcast episodes.
Because Aaron Gordon should have won that one.
Because Gordon won that.
He jumped over Taco. Gordon should have won that, but he jumped over Taco Fall and dunked the ball, and didn't win.
He kind of jumped over.
Because he did it two-handed.
He completely.
Like that. I think
okay, so he clear. So here's the thing: like he didn't push off.
It was kind of like when Blake Griffin jumped over the hood of the Kia.
Oh my god!
But no, like it was different though because like he didn't push off of Taco at all. He grabbed the ball, but like he didn't get up. I guess he didn't get up high enough. But he didn't push off of the shoulder of Taco Fall because he couldn't because he grabbed the ball with both hands.
Mm-hmm.
So like he kind of pushed him down a little bit, but even so, he took a 7'5", 7'6" Taco Fall and made him 7 foot.
Yeah,
like that. So that was the kind of extent of it.
I see Nate do worse with Dwight Howard, and he gets 50.
When you take Taco Fall though, the whole goal is okay. All right, that one was good. Which one am I thinking of then? Did Derek Jones Jr. have a whack ass?
He did the 360 legs 4 times, or between the legs 4 times.
No, he did a bunch of between the legs, and like his dunk, I think his dunk got like a 47 or a 48 because Aaron Gordon needed either a 48 or a 49 to win. He brought Taco out and then jumped over Taco Fall and everybody in the arena. And I mean, everybody in the arena thought that he won, except for
the judges.
There were 3 judges there. I was gonna say it was Candace
Wait.
Parker, it was somebody else, and then it was D Wade, and then there was a little controversy afterwards because Derrick Jones Jr. obviously was a Miami Heat at the time, and it was like, well, D Wade wanted the Miami Heat guy to win, and it was like, what are we doing here? Like, Aaron Gordon should have won that one because afterwards he was like, man, I jumped over Taco Fall. I'm like, I'm not doing a dunk contest again. Like, I've been robbed twice, and like, you has like not even just like a semi case. Like the Zach LaVine one, I'm fine with Zach LaVine winning because he deserved it too, and Derrick Jones did a great job. But there's a legitimate case you can make that he got robbed in both, and it was like I can't blame him. He's like, I've literally done like 6 dunks we've never seen, and you could argue if you have a top 10 dunk list of all time, I'm half of the dunks, and you could legitimately make an argument like I'm half of the dunks, like, and I didn't win. Like I have the best dunk of all time.
And then imagine that with his career now, because now he's a champion. So it's like, yo, I got the slam dunk, you feel me, and I got a chip.
Yeah, because he could have 2 slam dunk contests plus a ring, and then things like that. I mean, not that the slam dunk like completely ups your stock, but it is something. Like LeBron would have an extra little tick on it if he had a dunk contest.
If you're the right player, it definitely ups your stock. Like you just said with LeBron, if LeBron would have done it, want to put him in another stratosphere. You can't get much higher than what LeBron is, but it would have been like, hey, Mike did
it's
it.
Legacy
did
points.
It, Vince did it.
Yeah,
it's legacy.
Kobe did it.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, exactly. Great point, Brandon. Great point.
25 years later, we're still talking about Vince Carter. You know,
2,000%.
People still
2,000%. 2,000%. You're 100% right.
And we're going to talk about Aaron Gordon getting robbed the next 25.
Exactly. So, and like Keenan said, when 2000 happened, they for whatever reason didn't do it in '98 in New York. '99 was a lockout season, so you had 2 years off where people were really anticipating it. So, at the least, I think get rid of it, but at the least, you got to at least switch the 3-point contest with the dunk contest. Clearly, the 3-point contest is the premier event. It has this letdown feel to me. I don't know about y'all, but it has a letdown feel to me when you go from that 3-point contest with, the likes of Dame Lillard, Klay Thompson, Steph. This year we're getting Steph and Sabrina. And then we're going to go to Mac McClung and Obi Toppin's little brother. And then what? Jaylen Brown and Hami. And Hami's not even known as a dunker.
Jaylen Brown.
I actually saw a clip today where it was like showcasing the 4 participants. And for the Toppin brother, it just had an Obi Toppin dunk. It didn't even have the other kid. So like,
that's so
I don't know if it's on purpose. That's funny, but if it's not, I mean, I understand the mistake because who the fuck is this kid? Like
that man got no highlights.
Exactly. I sent Keenan a screenshot about a week ago of the Toppin kid's stats for the Knicks because he's mostly in the G League, and it's literally 0.0 points, 0.3 rebounds, 0.0 assists. Like he's gotten no run with the Knicks. Other than
this is crazy.
So, I don't even think I think he played college ball at Kentucky, and I don't even think he played at Kentucky. I could be wrong, but I don't know how much he played at Kentucky. Like I might want to fact check me on that, but I watch a lot of basketball, and I don't really remember him a whole lot.
That's like the Jets backup this year, the one who backed up Zach Wilson that played on Thanksgiving.
Tim Boyle.
Hardly played. Tim Boyle. He hardly played at UConn, hardly played at college, but somehow made it to the NFL.
Oh, Kyle, he's got numbers. Kyle, he's got numbers now. He's played 5 games in the league. He's averaging 6 minutes a game. It's 2.6 points, 1.2 rebounds, 0.4 assists. Last game he played 17 minutes, 11 points, 4 of 7 from the floor, 4 rebounds. And then 3 games before that he played 12 minutes, 2 points, and then had 2 rebounds and assists. So like,
we got
now
a superstar.
Sounds like New York Knicks basketball.
For the Knicks.
The Knicks got blown out in their last game too, so that's the only reason he got wrong. Clearly.
And I love to let people know when they are correct, and Branndon is all the way correct. He did play for Kentucky. He played for Rhode Island his freshman year, averaged 5 points a game, started 3 games, played 30, averaged 18 minutes, then averaged 17 minutes at Kentucky, scored 5 a game. Averaged 17 minutes his junior year, scored 5 a game. Then his senior year, he started, played 31 minutes a game. It's 12 points, 7 rebounds, 2 assists, half a steal, half a block, shooting 46% from the floor. So, like, he wasn't memorable.
He better dunk from the fucking top of the key tomorrow.
Like he wasn't. There was nothing. There was nothing.
You gotta do the Space Jam.
So shout out to Branndon for knowing that.
That's crazy.
Man.
And no shame to him
real
because
reason I
I'm
wanted
sure
to
like
do
you're
this
nice at
All-Star
what you do and
Weekend
stuff.
podcast.
It's just like
I wanted to know
we
what
as
you guys
fans,
would make for change
we
in
deserve
person. You guys were in
to
control
have star-studded
Friday,
events.
Saturday,
Like
Sunday.
if you force everybody else to do everything else, you gotta force the top 20 dunkers to get in here. Like or start finding people 150K, 250K. Y'all making too much money. I need Anthony Edwards. I need Zion. I need DeJaz. I need whoever has a high flyer in this league. I'm still taking Mac McClung because Mac McClung did not disappoint. He actually made it live last year.
He deserves it. He won. He deserves to be there. Absolutely. He played his way into being there next year.
But I mean, even then, give me a 10-day contract so I could just wear a real NBA jersey or something. You feel me? And then y'all can drop me back off.
Yeah, no, absolutely.
When I saw Yaquez, my first thing, I was like, I don't think of him as like a high flyer. Like he's a good rookie. He's a good NBA player, but like I don't think of him as a dunker. Like I think of him as like a young, he's a young Jimmy Butler. Like he's the same mold as Jimmy Butler. And I mean, compared to like Mac McClung and even Jaylen Brown, like that's not how I think of him. So when I saw him on the competitors list, I'm thinking, why is he even there? Like
I think we all have that same reaction.
Nobody wants to do it. Gotta fill the void. They're like, you want to win this? Want this chance to win this? What is it? $1 million now? 1.5. I guess I'll take a chance for it. Get your name out there. You might sell more jerseys. It'll be a good look for you. I can see an agent talking you into it. But for like I said, the fans and for the business of it, y'all are disappointing.
Yeah, like it'd be cool. Like these, could you imagine a 3-point contest being headlined by like Emmanuel Quickly? Like, he can shoot. Like, don't get me wrong. Like, he's a good player in the NBA. He's not bad by any means. Could you imagine, like, headlined by Emmanuel Quickly?
That's the thing I'll say.
Are you kidding?
Though. I mean,
would be
I'll say.
Who else will be on that?
Back in the,
if Emmanuel Quickly was headlining, it'd be like Emmanuel Quickly, Jaden Ivey, Dylan Brooks, who actually probably would be your headline just because he's the biggest name out of all of them.
Duncan Robinson.
I mean, and even Duncan Robinson, I'd be happy about. But like, if Duncan Robinson's your headliner, I'm not really the most. I'm most happy about it.
Yeah, I would take Wemby in there. Put Wemby in there.
You see, like that's the thing. Like, if Wemby was there because he's a star, you'd be like, oh man, let me see it. Like when Mike did one. So like, if LeBron did one next year, I would be like, ooh, LeBron's doing one. Like he can get hot. Like, let's see what he can do. Like, he can kind of get hot. Like, I would be happy about that. Obviously.
You've got Dame, you've got Curry, you've got
said he wants
like, you've got all the big name players. Like, that's
and you have every year. Like, Steph doesn't have to do it every year. But, like, between Steph, Dame, Clay, whoever, like, there's one every, even, like, a Buddy Hield style. Like, there's, like, so many shooters. And Kyle's right when he's talking. So, you've got the skills challenge, whatever, which is and then you're
trying to make it something else now, though.
Yeah, so we'll see how it is. It's gonna be, but
y'all hear me?
Then you've got the 3-point contest, which has the ability to be the best. But so obviously, but then you have the Steph Sabrina, which already, like, you can book both of them for 20 plus, like. Unless Sabrina, the moment's way too big for her, which I don't think because she's been in moments before. I mean, for her, the WNBA 3-point contest is at the moment. She didn't miss. So you have that. So then you're getting high, and then, like, I better see Mac McClung, like, go head first into the rim. Like, just, like, dive in, like, swim. Like I don't know.
He did put his arm. He did put his elbow in the rim last year, though.
I was gonna say, like, this shouldn't even be his elbow. Like, I want to see, like, his sternum touch the rim, like, as he's doing it.
Like the old who kissed the rim in that dunk contest? Was that Gerald Green? Yeah, like the old Christian.
And then he blew the candle out too. That was. Listen, I'm a dunk contest guy. And that's why it hurts so much because, like, for some reason, like, studied dunk contests. Like, I love the dunk contest, and it's just taken away from me because Zion,
Jacob
what are you doing? Zion, what are you doing? Like, what are you doing right now? Like, what's better? Like, are you and Mariah having troubles or something? Like, are you trying to figure out, like, what is better than you going to Indiana and doing the dunk contest? Like, please inform me.
Fucking the new Kim K beating the new
Yeah, like,
Ray
what are we doing? Like,
J. Got
what
videos.
are we making a new tape? Like, what's going on? Like, can we? Like, I understand. Obviously, Ja's injured, but if Ja's not injured next year, Ant, you're there. I know you're there. I'm going to see you 24 hours later. What are we doing?
The one.
We know you can dunk. I watched you skywalk your rookie year up there. You skywalk every day.
You skywalk in high school. I know what you can do.
Absolutely.
You probably see the new stuff. He probably go in between both his legs for real, for real.
Give me Bam out of bio next year.
I would be fine with Bam. I would have been fine with Bam over Hami. Like, I hope he does something special to where I'm like, oh.
I genuinely want him to. But, like,
yes.
You know.
They took a lot of fun out of it, too, because back in the day, they wasn't really doing all those great dunks, but, like, they would do entertaining things. Like, they would do a cartwheel, I guess, or whatever. You know what I mean? Or, like, make it a show.
Dwight Howard came out of the Superman case. Like, he became Superman because of that.
He didn't even throw the thing. Like, he threw it in the hoop. He just literally
chucked it home. But, like, from the angle that they showed on the TV, the first one looked like he just cranked. And you're like, oh, my God. And then you saw, he's like, he just threw the ball through.
But even then, like, you got to realize how high you are to even do that, which is fire.
It was still fire. It was still fire.
Like, sometimes I think some of the missed dunks is some of the best dunks that never read. Like Blake Griffin's original first dunk when he twirled and went the ball around his head. Oh my God! If he finished that, that would probably be my favorite dunk of all time.
It's top 5.
I don't think nobody even tried it since. Like,
I would have given it a 55 out of 50.
No, absolutely. 55. A 55. That's a 55. No, absolutely. I would have absolutely.
Calm down.
Sir, it's fine. That's a 55. Are you kidding me? Did you see that? No, absolutely.
He used the money ball from the 3-point contest. He getting 55.
No, absolutely. Like, that's what I miss, because there's a level of showmanship. Like, even Vince didn't do anything, like, crazy. But just the way he was walking, you're like, oh, my God. Like, what is he? Like, on the elbow in the rim dunk, he's just, like, brushing off his elbow. You're like, what are you planning on doing, sir? Like, why are you... Like, what's going on?
It was suspenseful.
Like, everybody knew what he could do. Like, Dave was like... He'd be doing it in the games. So it was like, okay, now he gets to actually show off. So that had a lot of hype to do. And then that lineup was crazy. It had Stevie Franchise in it. You had T-Mac. T-Mac had one of the best dunks in there. A 360. You just went after Vince.
Probably won it if T-Mac would have won it if Vince wasn't going nuts. Deservingly so. Like, he was going crazy. But, like, when you look back, okay, you're like, okay, Josh Smith did one. Okay, cool. Amari Stoudemire did one.
That was even cool.
Yeah, that was cool. You've got Josh Richardson, clearly Vince Carter, Blake Griffin, Dwight Howard, Nate Robinson. And then, like, you just look at Gerald Green. Like, even though they're not, like, the star of stars, we literally know them for taking off the rim in games. Mm-hmm. And then we just now got...
And sometimes
Jacob Toppin.
Yeah, Jacob.
I guarantee there's more searches for Obi Toppin's brother than there is for Jacob Toppin. And that's a problem. Like, I didn't know his name. I had to look up Obi Toppin's brother to figure out Jacob Toppin. So
or D-League player in the dunk contest. That's probably
and I hope I can come.
Search.
Yes, yes, and I hope that I can come back here the next pod and be like, man, they did something special. Like, I want to be able to be like, I was 100% wrong about Jacob Toppin. I'll remember his name forever. Or like Mac did it again. Or like Jaylen Brown showing out, or Hami's like Hami's catching Hamis. Like, that's what I'm hoping for. Like, something along those lines. But as of right now, I couldn't be less excited for this team. I really couldn't.
I hope Jaylen Brown is.
That'd be cool. The worst thing is, like, you go from the 3-point contest to the dunk contest, and then right after the dunk contest, you got the All-Star game Sunday. So literally, you kind of, and then you shoot right on back down.
It's like, because the celebrity game here, and then you got the rising stars, and then you kind of like do this because you got the because then you got the skills thing, and then you go back up. But like it's still like a peak pretty much, and then you're just gonna just go down, and then I'm just gonna.
Well, it's a never know after the 3-point contest. That's why it's just like every couple years it's been, and then there's that one moment. So you don't really know because sometimes they'll hit that peak and then it goes higher. But the only thing that's been a little crappy is the All-Star game because when nobody wants to play hard anymore, they don't get hurt. The coach sets them down, and when they older guys like LeBron and them, they're not really going to try that hard. Steph ain't going to do that. His show is Saturday. He ain't tripping on Sunday. Unless like the game get a little bit competitive. I don't know. Are they doing the scoring thing the same way, or are they actually doing quarters again? Does anybody know?
I think they're doing it a line ending. I haven't heard anything different, so I think that's what they're doing. I believe that.
Yeah, I even want quarters again. Like, give us a thing. Give us a moment.
No, I absolutely agree, but I do. I kind of wish if they were gonna do something. I don't even know how I wish they would do the game different. Just get rid of it. Like that's it. I don't know. Get rid of it. Like I just don't know how.
The game it's as simple as just bringing effort. You know what I mean? But I mean, look, I've said it, and this is really why I wanted to bring y'all on. I want more ideas. We'd said it, Keenan, about the in-season tournament. I think eventually it should get to the point where this is a second tournament and Sunday is the final to the second tournament. Mm-hmm. I believe the NBA should reflect American basketball culture, which is AAU, which is tournament culture. So, I mean, think
All-Star
about it.
Weekend tournament?
Exactly.
Friday?
Exactly. Honestly, God, right now, when's the last time y'all even thought about the in-season tournament? That was first week of December. First weekend, I should say.
Like a month ago. Just because I had to say we won.
Exactly. And it had no bearing on the season, really. Like the Lakers won it, cool, but we haven't talked about it since. So
it made that first part of the season exciting, which is why you were pumped.
And then a letdown after that.
Mm-hmm.
January's been pretty boring. The rest of December's, I mean, not boring. I don't want to say that, but it's definitely what we're accustomed to. What we grew up with. January's the dead part of the season anyway. Mm-hmm. And it's starting to ramp up now, obviously being towards All-Star Weekend, and then we'll have about 6 weeks left of the season. But I think it's a perfect opportunity, especially like Keenan said, if nobody's going to play, give us a second tournament. Give us a fucking one-on-one tournament. I don't care. Give us a 3-on-3 tournament. I don't care. Give us some competitive. Just give us some role players that want to hoop. I'll watch that before I watch, 24 stars who don't want to play.
Absolutely, and that's what you can still vote them for the All-Star, so like they can still have like these are All-Stars this year because I don't really care. It doesn't
give
matter.
Them jackets, give them cool jackets,
like literally give them give them a T-shirt or something. I don't care, but I do agree. I think that the way they should do it is if they added a 3-on-3 with marginal players, it really could be. It could be like I don't even know really. Like Keldon Johnson could be like one of the headlines, and I'd still watch it because a competitive 3-on-3 would be.
We just want to see people compete. It's supposed to be a celebration of the game, and it still is that, but it's just you got to tweak it with the times, just like they put in that in-season tournament.
But I think they could do that. Like imagine just real quick. I just thought about it. All-Star Weekend. You start them off like March Madness. Games are at 12. And you only play, now you implicate that when we only play the 21 rule. So y'all doing y'all 5-on-5, and that's how you move up on the tournament all weekend. So then, boom, that way you still can knock some games out. You get everybody involved. You can still do technically your, shows, your 3-point contest, your all these little events in there. And then, by Sunday, you have the last 2 teams standing, 4 teams standing. They play back to back or something.
Yep.
Yeah, I like the 3-on-3 idea. What if you do like a fan vote? Okay, say, hey, I want, going back to what Keenan said, I want Keldon Johnson, Josh Richardson, and somebody else on this team, and then you do. Let's say you pick a pool of,
like a Micah Parsons and all that.
10 teams. Whatever. 10 teams or 3, and you do a tournament that way. On Sunday you do a 3-on-3 tournament.
Mm-hmm.
Or
winners
even
bracket,
use the
losers
All
bracket.
Stars. Just use the All Stars, mix them all together. Let them pick their own
Or
team.
that too. Yeah,
Okay,
I mean
so-
something to get some effort.
The ideal thing would be if 8 teams of 3, because you have 24 All Stars, and so the ideal thing would be 8 teams of 3, and maybe like have the fans vote for the 8 captains, and then have like say 8 coaches per se, and then they pick teams.
And you have
So,
the
like, if
celebrity coaches. You can have the
Yeah,
Stephen
like,
A.
so
You
like,
can
you have
have
like
the
say
Stephen
Jalen Rose, whoever, and they pick teams, and then they go from there, and they play.
That'd be dope.
They don't have to play to like a crazy number. They could play to 15 straight, just because that instantly brings action. Like everyone 1s and 2s. Don't even put it 2s and 3s. Like 1s and 2s to 15, because you know as well as I know. Obviously, all of us played pickup before. We start off you can start off even slow, but the second it gets to like 6 to 2, you're like, oh god, I gotta turn it on. like every possession needs to be a stop. So if you just had
Especially
a
when
quick
it's like
tournament
a
like
lot
that,
to
and then you just
love.
built it up, and then had a tournament champion, that would be great. I would love that. But I also do agree, as Kyle was saying, second in season tournament, the championship game is the cap for All-Star Weekend, because it is a celebration of basketball. And what better than to award someone a championship that they're both trying for?
Now, the thing with that is the whole point of All-Star Weekend for them is actually getting that little couple days of rest, too. So if that's the case, I say you take off that Wednesday, Thursday, and take off that Monday for the league.
Yep.
No games Thursday, but
Absolutely.
Wednesday, Thursday, like take off
Absolutely.
Monday.
Cut it
and
from
then
Tuesday.
Let the fans
Tuesday to
enjoy
next
off for the
Wednesday.
weekend. And just get
Tuesday
right
to
back
next Wednesday, and then you have
And
like 2
that's-
teams who are playing. Cool.
That's
Great
what's
with me.
most disappointing about this All-Star Weekend is they extended. Like originally, I think it ended on Wednesday, the All-Star break. So you'd have that Sunday game, then go play on Wednesday. Now the games aren't even till Friday. So if you're not an All-Star, you got basically a whole entire week off.
And if you
which
didn't
you
play
never
on the
get.
Thursday, if you didn't play on the Thursday game, you got 10 days.
Yeah.
Because like there's 3
exactly.
Thursday games, so like if most of the people played on Wednesday, so you got like 10 days from Wednesday to the Friday to play, and maybe you didn't even play on that Friday too, because of the fact that they're not putting all 30 games on that day. So like there's a chance you go from Wednesday to Saturday of the next week not playing basketball. So like
And,
good
you
for
know,
them.
and who's going to Indianapolis? Like, yo, if I got that 10 days off, like, no disrespect, because they did that fly shit in the airport and put them hoops in there. Now they're just random people balling at the airport. It's hard.
Yeah.
One of them might have walked off and saw AD or something and be like, AD, like, live your dream and stuff.
No,
Come
AD
here,
can't do
put you
that.
on a
He'd
poster real quick.
No, he would tear his hamstring. He can't do that. AD can't
No,
do
I'm saying as like a random fan, like a little
Oh,
kid,
yeah.
you're in there, he's walking by trying to go to the play and he's like, AD, boom, just have a little fun. But I think
His
that,
ass real
but
quick.
like if I had,
Get
if
big,
it was like a De'Aaron Fox, I didn't get taken. I'm in Sacramento. There's no real reason for me to travel. I'm gonna probably go somewhere like Hawaii or overseas for 5, 6, 7 days, or spend time with the fam and stuff. Then get back to it. So
you can't be putting little basketball hoops in the airport around me, because I'm gonna go around dunking on everybody. I'm gonna treat it like the old.
no, they
school
put real
hoops.
courts. It's real cool.
Fun.
It's like
I'm
AAU
gonna
court.
everybody regardless.
Yeah, you ever seen it? Yo, go check it out. I'm telling you, it's so dope.
Do you
He
guys
thought he was
remember that
dunking on little
Vine
kids.
trend?
He thought he was a nurse.
So that Vine trend back in the day when people had like the portable hoop and they dunked on people. Do you remember that?
Yeah.
I did that to a random girl named Avery Ellis in school. She was a freshman. I was a senior.
Shout out to her.
I
You
knew-
still
like,
remember her name.
She was from Montgomery, and I kind of knew her a little bit, but like she basically came out. Jared Hussey, shout out to Jared Hussey, Fantasy League. He held the hoop up, and I just punched on her. it's like whatever. But,
That
yeah,
poor
It's
no,
like,
Get your weight up.
no, absolutely. No, it was like
and one.
I gave one of these like I was.
Oh, you did the
somewhere.
LeBron?
No, I gave her some. I'm hitting. No, I unnecessary. I don't know why that was the victim, but that was
Oh, man.
that was
That's
the
funny.
op for me, and I
That's like back in the day. Remember when you used to catch your friends walking through the hallway and they'd be right underneath the door, so you slap it?
Yeah,
hey,
slap the door.
Man.
hey, you too
Hey,
small.
got him.
No.
Too small.
Get your weight up, little man.
That
Hey,
was
shouts
back
to
in the
Vine. Shouts to Vine. That's the original TikTok. So big
Absolutely,
shouts
it's
to
the better
Yo,
TikTok.
Started the wave.
Legendary app.
It's a better
Legendary
TikTok.
app.
It gave people
Oh.
movie careers. 6 seconds videos. What was it? 7?
Yeah,
Real shit. Real shit.
Wow.
King Batch, he got him wilding out because of that.
What?
So
Shout
GCM
out to
Fly,
him.
kinda.
I do want to touch back on a couple of things that you guys said when my audio was fucking up. It's a shame, and I've mentioned this to Keenan. It's a shame that the first year we had the Elan ending with the target score. That was some of the most competitive basketball I've seen in general. Like, they were really getting after it. And we just haven't lived up since then, right? Secondly, you guys said, like, role players in the three-point contest. It was largely that for a lot of its history. And, you know, sometimes you get a Reggie Miller, you'd get a Ray Allen, you get a Dirk Nowitzki, and it would still deliver. Like, I'd be perfectly cool. I mean, like, Jason Capono made a name off that. You know what I mean? Heat legend, Hodges. Raptors legend, Craig Hodges, you know? So watching people just get obscenely hot if they're shooting or even, you know, make 6 in a row, you can at least count on that in a three-point contest. Whereas, like, I'll be happy if the dunkers just complete their dunks on the first or second try on Saturday. So,
yeah, don't do a Birdman.
Yeah, like
oh my
or
God.
Nate Robinson.
Bird, it's like 24 tries for Birdman.
And still got a 47. Are you kidding me? Like, are you kidding? Like, Nate Robinson tried that.
I forgot about the Birdman one.
The Birdman was terrible.
That was crazy. But I do remember, like, three-point contests, like, people do hit 4 or 5 in a row, and you just get invested automatically. It didn't even matter who it was. I remember what was, like, Ray Allen versus Peja Stojakovic, and they both was going for, like, 27. And it was like, yo, this is just the first, second round and stuff. Like, back when you used to get 30 to be perfect. I missed it.
Shane Battier did one. Like, Miller's done one. Like, you know, you've had so many people who do the three-point contest because, like, these are all
Vashawn
NBA.
Leonard winning one. If y'all remember Vashawn Leonard, that's a random name drop for y'all.
No, but like you're right, Kyle, in the sense of you don't need as many stars in that because it's easier to shoot a ball than it is to dunk one spectacularly. So like you have more people in the NBA who can just get hot. Like that's just especially in today's game. Like you could get a random guy and he could just get hot from like Lauri Markkanen. Obviously, Lauri Markkanen can shoot, but he's not like an elite shooter by any means. He's a really good big man shooter.
Quickly.
Yeah, Emmanuel Quickly. Like he could just get off 11 in a row. And that's like, oh, okay, Emmanuel Quickly's on one right now. Like,
yeah,
and it's crazy. But at this point in the dunk contest, like every dunk we've already pretty much seen. Yeah. Like, because like if you take out like maybe not on the NBA stage, no, maybe not on the NBA stage, but if you're going like all the other like, there's like a 5% of dunks that we haven't seen. And I understand, like, and that 5%, you have to be a specialist kind of athlete, but it's the way you dress it. It's the same thing in, like, hip-hop, where a lot of bars, like, there's a few bars we haven't heard any before because there's some current event things that haven't happened.
It's not what you say, it's how you say it.
It's how you say it. Yeah. You can't take these words, staying out of the words before I say them, AK. Shout out to Eminem for that. Basically, like, everyone can do the same thing, but it's completely different. Like, if Ja does a tomahawk and say Jimmy Butler does a tomahawk, they're the same dunk. Ja's gonna reach back and try to touch Tokyo and then come back and throw it down, and Jimmy's just gonna do Jimmy. Like, and so like it looks, yeah, there's the same, yeah, and those are the same dunks, but they're completely different ways. So it's like it's more so right at this point how you dress it rather than how you do, like exactly like doing something crazy, which is what I think people get psyched themselves out for. It's like, oh my God, I'm watching Jordan Kilgan and not look at the rim and do that. I got to do something crazy. It's like, no, just put on a show. Like, I don't need you to do a bunch of crazy stuff. Just put on a show with some really impressive dunks. Like if you do a 360 kind of windmill, but your neck's at the rim, I'm impressed. Like, I don't care. Like I'm like, he's eating the rim. Like what that's hard to do. You don't just do that. You don't wake up.
Are you going to be impressed if Jimmy Butler hands my man a cup of coffee in midair and he grabs it out of his hand?
Espresso.
As long as Wale's Coffee in the Morning, or Miguel featuring Wale's Coffee in the Morning is playing in the background. Coffee in the morning. As long as that's playing.
That's the walkout song? That'd be crazy. Oh, man. So who y'all got for the game? Who do y'all got for the game? Who y'all got winning?
Dunk contest?
On Sunday, yeah. Who y'all got on Sunday winning?
Or
do y'all want to do the other contests real quick? Run through.
So I got Wemby's group winning it all. I got the bigs. I got Wemby's group winning it all. I've got Mac going back to back. I've got the West I've actually got Sabrina over Steph, and I think I've got Sabrina over Steph for a reason. I think that she's gonna get hot, and I think the best thing for the WNBA would be Sabrina winning, but Steph getting like 24 plus. Because if Steph for some reason isn't like Steph, people would be like, "Oh, he didn't take it serious," blah blah blah, or whatever. He's letting her win. But if Steph goes out and gets like 27, and then Sabrina gets like 29, we know Steph was trying. Like you don't get 27 on accident. You know, like I'm gonna miss this.
You
one
did tell her I ain't letting you win.
Oh no, I completely believe that. But like I'm going with Sabrina with the major upset, and then I got 3-point contest. Let me see who's in it again.
Halliburton, Dame,
Yeah.
Curry.
So I'm actually going Malik Beasley.
Mm.
Going random. Malik Beasley's gonna get hot.
So you actually went with the Emmanuel quickly in the contest.
Yeah, I did. We got Malik, just for reference, we got Malik Beasley, Jalen Brunson, Tyrese Halliburton, Damian Lillard, Lauri Markkanen, Donovan Mitchell, Karl Anthony Towns, and Trae Young. Those are the 8 that are in it right now. But yes.
I'll give you mine real quick. So for the skills challenge, I'm going to go with the All-Stars. I believe it's Maxey, Trae Young, and Scotty Barnes. Right?
Yes.
I'm going to go with that 3. That seems like a safe pick. 3-point contest. 3-point contest, I'm going to go with Towns. Karl Anthony Towns. I think he's got a set shot.
He's won it before, I believe.
Has he?
Yeah,
he's won it, or he's got
He
it
won,
before. Yeah.
I want to say he won 16.
So I would lean him.
16.
Okay. That does sound familiar now that y'all say that.
I think he won twice. I think it was I can tell you the year. But go on, Kyle.
I would say Towns. Then my sleeper for that, I guess, other than Towns, would be Donovan Mitchell. I think I would pick Trae, but it seems like a good competition for Trae. But
Trae hasn't done well.
He's streaky
in that.
in general.
Yeah.
Karl Anthony Towns won 2 years ago. Last year was Dame. Then the year before was Steph. Then Buddy Hield, Joe Harris. We can go on, but it's fine.
The best. I'll tell you this: the best outcome for the league would be for like Dame to go the fuck off, and then for maybe Sabrina to win, and then maybe run it back next year. Sabrina versus Dame in the Bay Area next year.
It needs to be Steph versus Caitlin Clark.
I was going to just say that.
Yeah.
I was going to say that next year.
Steph versus Caitlin Clark in the
If
Bay.
this works, they definitely use it. They're going to be Sabrina and Caitlin. Like that's going to be it.
Yeah,
it could be. Oh, it might be. Oh, actually, I'm saying this before I actually got to head out. But I'm saying this before I do. Sabrina, Caitlin Clark, Klay Thompson, Steph Curry in the Bay next year. Whoever has the most total wins.
Yeah, they both get a minute apiece.
I should get down with that.
Big shot.
with that.
That's a 3-point celebration.
Are you kidding me? Caitlin and Sabrina versus Steph and that's a Splash Sisters versus Splash Brothers. Are you kidding me?
Yo, this man just did the whole NBA marketing for him.
Listen, Adam, side me now. Like,
put me in that celebrity game. I can do this.
I'll say this. Keen, stick around a little bit because that's really the last thing I want to do is just do ideas for All-Star Weekend. Steph, Sabrina, though, I got Steph tomorrow. Ain't no way Steph's losing on the NBA stage. That's a home game for Steph.
Is she shooting it from NBA range too, though?
She said she would. I think they got her shooting from WNBA.
Oh, that changed.
She said, "Course, what the fucking fuck, yo."
Damn, sorry, Kyle. I made him buffer. My bad. He's still thinking about it. VP, run yours down real quick before he gets back.
So I'm gonna go with the big men, Wimby's crowd.
let's go.
Skills challenge. Going to be completely honest, I really don't know who else in the skills challenge, but I'll go with the All Stars with Maxine and Scotty. For the 3-point contest, I'm going to go with Jalen Brunson. I think if Jalen Brunson gets hot, I think he can shoot it as good.
He has the form for it because like you want a shot that doesn't jump much, and he doesn't really jump a whole lot, so he's got the form for it.
Yeah, facts.
And then maybe if I had to pick another one, then it would be Tyrese Halliburton, just to kind of go out of left field on that.
And he's at home.
That's what I'm doing.
Yeah. And then for the dunk contest, Mac McClung, although I would like to see Hami. If he won, then I'd be happy as a Heat fan. But I think it's going to be Mac McClung. And then for the All-Star game, I'm going to go with the Western Conference.
Word. That's a lot of good picks right there. I actually feel safe in your picks. You said Wemby in the All-Stars. And then with the home, yeah. But go ahead, Kyle.
Shit, where was I? Yeah, all right. I don't think Steph's losing at home. I think that's essentially a home game, right? NBA All-Star Weekend.
Mm-hmm.
Dunk contest, I'm going to go with – I'm rooting for Jaime. I'm going to root for Jaime. Shouts to all the Mexicans out there. You know, a Mexican winning a dunk contest would be huge. So root for Jaime there. I think Mac's going to win it probably. I bet he's going to come with some shit. Like, he's definitely going to come with some ridiculous dunks. But I'm rooting for Jaime there. So
yeah, he said he had 4 backup from last year.
Really?
Yeah.
So he'll probably take it unless Jake Toppin can do something. I don't know. And then I'm gonna roll with the East for the All-Star game.
Okay.
Jake Toppin from the free throw line.
He's got to
go in the rim from the free throw line. Jake Toppin. Who's topping him?
I feel like, are we in a fucking simulation?
Yeah, honestly.
Who's topping Jake is the New York.
That is pause crazy.
I would stare at my TV and I'd probably turn it off.
It's probably going to be Marv Albert doing it.
Get the Home Alone face.
Oh no! Bang! Mine's I'm gonna just run through the home job. I don't think they ever had nothing really good in Indiana, so I'm gonna take Indiana team in the first one. I'm gonna take do they have the people in the skill too? Do they got a skill team? No,
the Indiana, that's the Indiana skill. I think Halliburton's over there.
Yep. So Indiana, Halliburton, and then I'm gonna go with Jaylen Brown, even though I'm a Lakers fan, because that's my guy. I feel like he could throw down powerful dunks. He's just not real tricky. Yeah. But
I think he did a dunk contest a couple years back too, like early.
Did he do it? I don't remember.
I think so.
You might be right. I don't remember. But anyway, and then I got Steph and the West. Got to stay with it.
Yep.
East win the events, the West one was popping.
Yep. Okay. Was there anything else at all from anyone?
I had more, but I'm gonna save it for Monday because the connection's still fucking up. So I'm just gonna keep it while we're here. So
absolutely,
just a nice little run through.
For sure. Well, this was the Warner Brothers podcast. That's Kyle. That's Duke. That's Branndon. This is Keenan. Definitely check us out. We're Live Take, Castro, and then you got Keenan Warner here. Branndon and Duke, we're going to have to get you on Live Take. We got TikTok, of course, YouTube, of course. Shout out to everybody checking us out, and we are out of here.
Peace.
Like a man.